like to invite Tomáš Krátký, who shall be speaking about the future is actually not AI, but data. So, Tomáši,
thank you.
Starting now.
Thank you, thank you. Let's try if it works or not. Yeah, it works. So as you guess from the title, my topic today is, we all are excited about AI, definitely, but my topic is more like how data is the real future, from reasons I will explain very shortly. And because as every human being, I'm biased a little bit about myself. I am a software engineer, doing this for more than 20 years, built a lot of large data-driven, AI-driven systems. In 2015, I started a company, Manta Data Lineage, very successful, turned the company from a small startup into market leader, acquired by IBM basically a year ago. So that's where I work today for a blue giant. But anything and everything I'm going to say in next 9 minutes, just my personal opinion, has nothing to do with IBM, just here by myself. And what's really important, my experience comes from large enterprises. That's the only thing I know, nothing else. So please bear that in mind. I'm not going to talk much about the importance of AI or the promise of AI. There are smarter people here talking about that. Tomorrow there is the AI, everything dedicated to the topic. The only thing I want to say is more money goes to AI every single day, and more companies adopting AI. So there is a great promise, a lot of amazing use cases. As I said, other people will talk about it better. However, I believe that partially it's definitely hype, even though there are a lot of great promises. And as with every hype, we have some, let's say, challenges. Ultimately, what I believe will happen is that in next couple of years, it may be 5, it may be 7, but in not too distant future, every business process, every software system will be somehow AI augmented. How it's built, how it's delivered, what are the functions of the system, all of that. And we see it even today with simple stuff like recommendation engines or predictive analytics. With Gen AI, the trend will only accelerate. So that's thing number one. Thing number two, AI tech stack, the technology itself, will be a commodity. So even today, we have millions of tools and everything. It requires smart people to make things happen. That will not be true in the next couple of years. We will see simplification, we will see consolidations, and basically there will be no difference between what a company A and a company B can use. The real differentiator, though, and what will differentiate winners from losers is when and how they use AI, but more importantly, how they can train and fine-tune AI with business-specific, unique data they have for business-specific, unique use cases they have. So that will be the real differentiator. At least that's what I believe, and I have a lot of experience seeing that in the past years. Even today, less than 10% of all AI projects made it to production. It's crazy number. With all the money invested, all the hype and everything, less than 10%. So why? Again, my opinion, my experience, but the reason number one is low quality of data. Most people in enterprise organizations don't trust data at all. And you see everyone complaining all the time about data. We have some interesting data showing that more than 30% of AI projects fail or is significantly delayed due to simply poor data quality. And that's crazy alarming. And not even mentioning tons of money. We all hear how expensive it is to train AI. And now we are basically retraining and retraining and retraining because we keep feeding wrong data. So I am not the smartest person, but I say it must be very expensive, and it is actually. So millions and millions of dollars wasted just because we feed low quality data. So that's the challenge number one. Challenge number two, I see, again, my experience is data protection. Most companies don't feel confident about their ability to protect data. And I understand with stuff like GDPR, CCPA, or new regulations coming every day, it's challenging to comply with all of that, and the fear of data breaches and what can go wrong with data, it's everywhere. And the last piece is volume and variety of data, business-specific data needed to train models for your specific business use cases. Like, we have that data. Unfortunately, it's locked. It's not in our beautiful data warehouses. It's not in our lake houses, data lakes, or how we call it. It's in SharePoints and wikis and Excel sheets and PowerPoint presentations and Slack messages and emails. That's where the missing piece is. And it's actually very difficult to unlock it. According to some studies, which I believe is just underestimating the issue, way more than 50% of data is like not used at all. So it's not just, it's just stored somewhere. And we have no way how to train our new Gen AI beautiful thing using the data. So that's really big challenge. So key challenges. Really nasty thing about this is this really ugly feedback loop. So as we solve the volume challenge, we will make the protection and quality challenge much harder to solve, which is where most companies struggle, based on my experience. So, obviously not great, and I don't have magical solution, I don't have a silver bullet. There is no silver bullet, I believe. However, I have some, let's say, stupid things I usually start with when working with companies. And they are working again and again and again. So, thing number one, just don't be stupid. Don't play stupid games, don't do stupid politics. Again and again, I work with customers and I see team A hiding data from team B. Why? Just tell me why. Data integration is difficult even without these silly things. Just don't do it, please. Second thing here is I see companies buying and buying new shiny tools and technologies, believing that finally this will solve my problem. It will not. It was never like that. It will never be like that. It's mostly people, unfortunately. Second thing, don't sleep on metadata. It's a very technical thing, but we are talking about context of data, origin of data, meaning of data. All of that is very powerful if you have it. It not only helps you finding data and using data the right way, but my experience, and I'm biased, obviously, it will simplify anything you need to do with data. It's like the best accelerator when it comes to data management in general and AI. So don't sleep on metadata. The next thing is really focus. Like, I see companies boiling the ocean or avoiding difficult conversations, avoiding difficult decisions, and just going like fuzzy, vague, foggy objectives, foggy goals. Just don't do that. It's just waste of everyone's time. You will waste tons of money and nothing will be achieved and your AI project will fail. So try to be narrow, very clearly focused and define what you want to achieve, and make sure that you can measure and validate results of your project against your expectations. If you don't have that, you will fail anyway. Next thing is not what I call, but what the industry calls data products. And I don't care about the methodology or anything. I more care about specification and interface. Like, from reasons I don't understand, when it comes to data, we just ignore like 50, 100 years already of requirements engineering. Like, define interfaces, define ownership, define contracts, define what can and can't be done with data. Define SLAs, do all of that. We do it everywhere else, but for data. Makes no sense to me. So again, I ignore like specific methodologies or things like data mesh, just do the basics. And the last thing for today is don't separate like traditional development from data development. It's wrong in every possible way. I have millions of examples, and if you even like slightly believe that in future every application will be AI augmented, you can't keep it as two different things. So don't. I will be around. If you want to continue, there is my LinkedIn profile. I'm happy to chat. I don't have more time, so thanks for listening and hopefully see you around.
Tomáš Krátký. Tomáši, don't run. While we'll be preparing the stage, I might have a question for you. Any question from field? Like, you know, I'm from Microsoft, so speaking like there is no room for AI is not really helping my my sales pitch. However, like in terms of, I definitely agree with you about that the data needs to be in place. But what we experience, people will try anyway. So what would you suggest to these maybe early adopters?
You mean when they try AI?
Yes.
Yeah, I would say definitely try it. Like everyone should do that. I'm just saying, when you start your project, carefully think about data you need and you want to use. Carefully think what you want to achieve and how you want to get there. And for data you plan to use, just make sure that they are like, let's say, organized. Like I don't say like invest like millions of man days or anything. Just people hide from simple things like who owns that? Like why? Because of some stupid political games? It makes no sense. Like I'm not talking about anything like technical or difficult, just human stuff. Like why not to say basic things? So that's just my advice.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Tomáš Krátký.